I don't know what is going on right here. I slept when my hair was wet. Good morning. It's Sunday. It is February 20th. And it's Pisces season. Anybody else ready for it to be over? I know I am, but I'm glad that Mercury is not retrograde right now. Hey, thank you for tuning in, and I just wanted to try a little bit of a different approach. I have been working on myself. I've been working on my platforms for, you know, marketing. It's a lot of transition mode, a lot of reinvention. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today, is the age of Aquarius, because we were in Pisces era and now we are coming into Aquarius. And that's me. I'm not sure why I am here for this, but I'm here. My body, my soul decided this was a great opportunity to take, and I love opportunity, so I took it out of the box. And I just wanted to say I appreciate every single one of you. I am building this right here, my audience, you lovely people. I want to connect with you. I want to build with you. That we are in a very big historical moment right now, especially with, you know, leaving Aquarius, coming into Pisces, and now we're in this, what you would call, portal from February 2nd, 2022 to February 22nd, 2022. So 22222222. Very balanced, equalized number. February 22nd, this time frame is when the Americas, the United States of America, became one with the independence, the Declaration of Independence. Goodness gracious. With the Declaration of Independence. That is hard to say right now. The Declaration of Independence coming on February 22nd, 2022, with what's also called a Pluto Return. And that's a whole nother thing I can make a video on. So that's why that's very significant, because on July 4th, 1776, when everything was signed and documented, it's kind of when Rome fell and things just collapsed, right? So we've seen the market already go ahead and correct itself, doing its own thing. That's kind of relating back to 2008. So a lot of my traders and investors out there, you can already understand. And you'll have to forgive me, where I'm at is like, well, I'm sure this is like everywhere right now, but we're in like freak climate control. So I don't know, it's gonna be, you know, Alaska out one morning and then turn into Arizona desert later in the afternoon. I don't know. So this weather has my mind, my allergies just all over the place. So forgive me. I'm doing the best that I can. Got my water bottle here and let's do this. I want to talk about 3 different things that you can do for yourself that will benefit you coming into this age of Aquarius, kind of what to expect and how to mentally deal with it. That's the most important part here, because your mental capacity, guys, don't let anybody play with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you some pointers and some tips, and let's make this easy for everybody, shall we? So, number 1, I want to say that life and work, 2 different things. But really, I guess what you could say is self and work. So you have yourself, right? Your life that you want to do, your opinions, your ideas, your hobbies, your likes, right? And then you have your work or your job. And I don't like to use job because that's just over broke, but work. So what do you like to do? What are your skills? What can you provide for others as a service, but still benefiting yourself in the long run? And that's where it comes to, you know, balancing that. So waking up in the morning, first and foremost. If you don't make your bed, you might want to start with that. So we'll start there. Making your bed. That's a really great one. That's a nice balance to come home to after a busy work week. I know for me personally, I would work 12-hour shifts plus, you know, sometimes 80 hours, 60 hours in a week. And I'd come home just to roll around in a ball of blankets, get up, go do it again, and come back. Like, that's not pleasant, you know. I want to be able to come home and relax in my own bed. And, you know, ladies, after you shave those legs, you moisture up and you have that clean bed and you feel like a naked baby and you just slide in letting that slip like nobody's business. That is the feeling of self meditation. I know meditation's a very good one. Just waking up, and if you can't take, let me put it this way, if you can't take 5, 10, or 15, whatever you're choosing, minutes to yourself, whether that be in the morning, at lunchtime, whatever you choose, right? And just meditate and breathe and calm yourself back down, get your prana under control, goodness, then that's a problem. You know, that's one of the really big factors, is balancing yourself. You have to bring your chakras all into alignment. You have to make sure your pineal gland's open and receiving, and along many of other things. But those are 2 things that I have found already that just make my life so much more balanced, if that makes sense. And another great example is turning off your phone, you know, whether that be a couple hours throughout the day, or if you do it just once a week, turning your phone off. Balancing yourself and coming back to yourself, finding your hobbies that you enjoy. So I like to draw, I like to paint, I like to hike, I like to be in nature, I like to be outside. I will go to the lake and just watch the sunset. Things like that just bring me back to myself, bring me back to center, if you will. One is just like 2 of many things that you can do to balance out your life. Sometimes it's the simple things that matter most. You are in control of everything, okay? So, you know, just finding that time. And as far as work, you know, how much time do you want to work? How long do you want to work? I personally haven't worked a 9 to 5, and God only knows how long. Tell your boss, hey, I need some time to think for myself mentally. I need, you know, like a good 2 days, 3 days off. Now I know that becomes a little complicated because, you know, you're working 9 to 5 and all this and that, but do not let these people, do not let the boss or whoever is superior to you do that to you. From my personal experience, it does not allow me to perform at my best if I am drained, if that makes sense. You always want to be able to be 110% every day you walk out this door, no matter where you're going or who you're going to meet. You always want to be able to work and perform at your best. And that also comes back to a balance. So if you can't balance, you know, your personal time between, say, your family or your job, you're not really living. You're just kind of struggling. And difference between being, living, and surviving. So really living and being kind of go into the same category, but there's a difference between living and surviving. And that's kind of what you'd be in if you didn't have that work balance with your life. You would be surviving more so than living, because you're trying to pay your $1,200 a month rent and you have to work, you know, 60 plus just to meet that criteria, and then you're still having all your other bills on top of that. So having that work-life balance is important, and if you struggle with that, reach out to somebody. Take that for what you will, and we will jump into number 2. I'm having a lot of complications because I can't breathe. So number 2 is kind of like something interesting, and I kind of got on the topic of it this morning with a person I had personally messaged. Your birth chart is so important. And when I say birth chart, I mean your birthday. You know, I just had a birthday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to all my fellow Aquarians, and happy birthday to all you Pisces out there. Had the best experience with Pisces, male or female, so nothing against y'all. I just have a hard time with you. I was explaining that if you think of the 3D and 5D world, right? You have the 3D government, the economic system, you know, 9 to 5, family, school, wake up, die. Okay, simple. And then you have your forms that verify you. So your social, you have your identification, your driver's license, passport, whatever you want it to be. Then you have your 5D, and you have your birthday. You have, you know, pictures. Taking your birth chart, that's like your social, that's equivalent as the 3D social security. So for me, for example, and this is what I was explaining, like I read astrology charts and I'm working on that, birth charts, things of that nature. So the planets, the houses, there's a lot of aspects that go into this, right? Into us. And you as an individual decided to be here. I don't know who, why, what, when, or where, but you decided to be here just as I did. We're all going through our own journey. Let's call me crazy, but for example, just because I'm learning, and this is how you learn, I would go to Snapchat when I had it, because it got deactivated. I had Snapchat, and I would go to my friends that I knew personally, grew up with, went to school, and I would read their birth charts. It had an update option, there we go, to put in your birth date. I never did this, and I'll tell you why. I never did this because I knew what was coming with this Pisces to Aquarius age. It is where you can understand somebody. So I would go in there and I'd look, oh, well, her Mercury is in Aquarius. Okay, well, her Uranus is in Scorpio. Okay, her Pluto is in Taurus. Just all these different things, right? And because of that, because I know what each planet represents, and there's houses and things, and the signs themselves, right? I know how, I know who, and I may know when they may do something, when they may say something to me, why they're going through what they're going through. So astrology has a lot to do with that. And that's what I would do. I would go through, read everything, just kind of like the person. I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, I see why they say that. Oh, okay. So it kind of gives you a better understanding of not just yourself and why you encounter people and the things you go through, but as well as others. And it gives you a better comparison to, oh, we're all just equal. We're all just kind of built a little different, you know? And that's the most beautiful part about it. So I can take your birth date, and there's a couple factors that like go into that. I'm not going to mention those, but I can take your birth date and put it into a system, and boom, I get to know everything about you. I get to see your rising, your sun, your moon, all your planets. I get to see all your houses, all your aspects, where you have squares, conjunctions, all of that. So for example, Mercury is communication. It's the way we collide. It's technology. I always want to call it technological, but technology and things like that. So my Mercury, for example, is in Pisces. Pisces, how ironic, is, you know, water sign, so it's emotion, so it's very connecting, it's very bonding, it's wanting to get on that deeper level of, you know, inside your mental mind and how you're thinking and what you want to make and how you go about stuff, how your words are, how you pronunciate, things of that nature. But their birth chart, their birthday in, and their Mercury is in Pisces. How funny, you know? Like, now I understand why me and Billy Bob may have a really, really deep connection, why they talk to me about family matters, why they talk to me about, you know, their past child that didn't make it in a miscarriage. Something random, okay? But it's that very deep, vulnerable point of being, and that's just kind of an example. So it allows you to see who, what, when, and why. And that's just point blank. So I personally don't put my birthday out there, and with just everything that's coming, I think it's, you know, it's like a safety factor. I rather somebody have my social security than my birthday. I'm not gonna lie, because now they know who I am. They know how I move. You know, it's kind of weird. So just be cautious about that. Protect yourself and just be aware. And I'm not saying, you know, hand out your social security to anybody either, but it's just like, that's kind of the comparison and how serious it can be. It's just a matter of what level playing field you're on. So think about that. If it's up on your Snapchat, you might want to take it down, because people like me will get to reading you, okay? Another thing that's really fascinating is like with the protecting your privacy deal, there's a USB drive. Most simple pieces to use of technology, like ding. And I say this only because hackers right now, because we're becoming into a more technical and technology advanced era, age of Aquarius. It's kind of interesting because it doesn't matter if it's encrypted or not. My homie was telling me about some crazy guy, some crazy hacker, and I was like, I knew there was somebody out there that could do that, you know, like just all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm like, bet. So this is also great for NFTs. I'm a model, so personally this would be great for my pictures, things like that. But yeah, they also are like based on like gigabytes. So just be aware of that and make sure you're getting the right size so you can hold all your files, music, whatever it is that may be. There is also a crypto USB like keychain that's going around right now, and I'd really like to get one. Or I say crypto, maybe NFT, something like that. Number 3. What I wanted to come to was something very simple, but something I'm actually working on myself, and that's minimalism. So keeping it simple can be the best. For me, I have seen now why minimalism is so important in my journey personally, because I like to travel, I'm always moving around, I like change. Change is inevitable. So if you're resisting change and you're forcing it back, it's gonna keep up with you no matter what. It's that resistance. Eventually it's gonna break, right? And for example, like a water bottle, great one. I had a water bottle, you know, and I was sponsored by this company called Socoo, and I had got a water bottle from them. And then I got another one. And then I had another one. And I'm like, why do I have 3 of these, you know? And it's like a 1.5 gallon water bottle container. 2 or 3 different quantities of an item, okay? Like for example, I have 2 phones. Do I need them? Not necessarily. Do I like them and want them in my life to separate my work and life balance? Yes, most definitely. But there comes a point in time where you're gonna be, you know, so high up on the scale with money, you're not gonna have to have all these different items with you. Something very simple, because you know that's your go-to, it's reliable, it's sustainable, and it just makes it simple. So for example, a closet, right? If I had my closet and I had 12 white shirts and then I have 12 gray pants, a white shirt and gray leggings to wear for 12 days, however often I need to change, right? It gets dirty, whatever, throw it away. That keeps it really minimal, and it allows you to focus on other things. So it allows you to focus on other things. It allows you to buy other things, to use your money in proper ways that you didn't know you could use before. Like for example, I like to eat, okay? And I was looking at my finances at the end of the year, and I was like, wow, where did all this money go? You know? But it's because I was traveling a lot, and I didn't have, you know, like a kitchen to cook in, so I wasn't having my routine, my balance, my life balance, okay? So I was having to spend more money on food because I wasn't able to go to the store, get the items I need, and then go home. It allows you to take out the clutter of your life and to just make it simple, you know? Like, it's like your brain, for example. Like, okay, spring cleaning. A lot of people do spring cleaning, right? And for me personally, I do cleaning when I get into like an anxiety attack or something like that, just because it kind of calms my mind. It's like a soothing mechanism because the way I grew up in my environment. And having a small space as well, say you live in an apartment, you know, it can be very cluttered with the stuff. People say you have 2 vacuums and you have 4 blenders, and then you have 2 TVs, 1 in each room, then you have, you know, it just goes on and on and on, and it's like, oh, where's all this stuff gonna fit? You know, you can only have so much, and that kind of comes with attachment and your ego in the way with your emotions. So again, that comes to controlling your emotions, back to the work-life balance, you know, being able to control yourself, not allowing others to control you and to put their mind in yours, right? And that's just kind of where minimalism comes in with me. I'm still working on it. I hope that made sense. And if you struggle with that, reach out to somebody. Please reach out to me. My life coaching, that's kind of what I'm working on with people, is being that push, being that motivation that you need, you know, being that ear to listen to and to cry with, and whatever you need. Okay, I think that's all I've got. So with that being said though, I plan to be doing these a little more often. I am working on my editing, I'm working on my business, I'm working on me, and like I said, I just want to be able to connect with you guys a little bit better. I want to know what you want to hear from me. I want to know, you know, what inspires you, where do you want to go, what are your goals, do you need a good book to read, you know, things like that. I really want to get on that Pisces level, and communicate with you guys and understand from your point of view, from your perspective, because it's going to be different than mine. And that's the most beautiful thing about each and every one of us, is we have room to grow, right? So please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know what you want to hear next. And deuces. That's how I'm gonna have to do the video, because I can't breathe. That moment from, what was I gonna say? Others, oh my gosh, not allowing others to just, what else? Work-life balance. work-life balance. I have to think